Welcome back to ESPR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Paul Kelly. If you are watching this video and you enjoy it, please do subscribe to the channel. We release a wide range of boxing content on almost a daily basis. Please do check it all out and subscribe if you are not subscribed already. Paul, we are getting reports that Naoya Inoue is fighting TJ Doheny in September in Tokyo. I won't say too much. I'll give you the floor now. Thoughts on this fight looking like it's going to happen.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, mate. As always. Um, let's be honest, from a Naoya Inoue point of view, it's disappointing for fans, but at the same time, do you give him a bye ball just because of the level he's been fighting at for so long? You know, the names he's beaten in the last year or two. And then obviously, you can kind of sell it, I suppose, in a way that TJ Doheny is a former world champion. He's been in there with quite a lot of the big names in the division, and fair play to him. He's been around, and as he because he's obviously originally from Ireland and based elsewhere now. But yeah, I mean, massive opportunity for him and all of his fans. I mean, you're not going to get, this is almost like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And yeah, we might all think that Naoya Inoue is an absolutely enormous favorite, which he is. And I'll be shocked if, 99.9% of boxing fans aren't picking Inoue to win this fight. But yeah, fair play to Doheny, massive opportunity. But realistically, you're looking at this fight and thinking it's a routine victory for Inoue.
Yeah, and I think look, it's not the most exciting fight to look forward to. However, it's Doheny. He's not a nobody. He's a former world champion. He's been in unification fights beforehand. He's an experienced guy. I just think for me, he's probably not at his prime anymore. And those world title fights were a while ago now. And with four losses on his record, he's not got kind of the prettiest record. Not that that's the be all and end all, but he's not. Um, why do you, why do you think this fight? Why do you think this fight's happening, Paul? I think there were strong rumors he was going to fight the Australian Sam Goodman at one stage. I think, from my understanding, there's a possibility that if Inoue wins this fight, he could fight Sam Goodman next. There's the Akhmadaliev fight, which I know Matchroom have been pushing for. Akhmadaliev, obviously a top fighter in the division still. Not sure if that fight's ever going to happen. Why is this fight happening, do you think?
I mean, it's a good question. I'm not sure. I mean, you can look at it at a few things, and we quickly mentioned off camera there, didn't we? Like, it kind of makes sense, it kind of makes sense if you look at Doheny's record. He's fought quite a lot in Japan, including his last three fights, which he's won all via knockout. So you can kind of sell it that way. He maybe likes to fight over there. He's happy to travel to Japan. Could have been problems, obviously, with the Akhmadaliev negotiations if they ever got off the ground. And as you mentioned, yeah, Goodman obviously has beaten Doheny, but yeah, that fight maybe happen next, as you alluded to there. It does make sense in the sense that he's fought there before in Japan. He's a name without being a huge threat, to be honest. Um, but yeah, as bad as it sounds, considering every belt is on the line, undisputed, is it just the kind of keep busy fight for Naoya Inoue? Is that a bit unfair? I'm not too sure. I think that Inoue's wanting to stay active. He's a very active fighter, and yeah, I think that's the key for him. When he's at his best, it's keeping active. So this might be another reason why this fight's happening.
Yeah, no, look, I think so. And look, in Japan, if Inoue's fighting, it's a big fight. You could be fighting me or you. It's still a big fight. Um, but yeah, it will be. I don't think this will be. I think what's a shame for me is that it feels like the last couple of fights, Inoue's kind of gone into the mainstream. It's a bit of a novelty for fans in Britain, I think, 'cause he's fighting on a Monday or a Tuesday, and it's kind of in the middle of the day for us. Which, for some people who don't want to stay up until 11 o'clock for a main event, it maybe appeals more to. So it's a shame that after going into the mainstream, he's kind of maybe taking a backward step and not fighting someone who's a top five, top six fighter in the division. I feel like when you are a pound for pound star like Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, you need to be fairly consistent with the quality of names that you're fighting, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I don't mind asking you this question, Paul, because I think you mentioned there like 99% of boxing fans will be backing Inoue to win this fight. I'm not going to ask you on the opponent, on future opponents. We've kind of covered that, but Inoue obviously multiple weight world champion already, 31 years old, so not a young fighter for his weight category. How much longer do you think he has at super bantamweight? He could stay at super bantamweight for a while. He could say, I'm comfortable at this division. I don't fancy moving up again to featherweight. There's still, fights that I want to beat in this weight class. Or this could be his last fight at super bantamweight. He might want to go after those massive fights at featherweight, of which there are a few. Luis Alberto Lopez being one of them, for example. Where do you think Inoue's at in terms of weight divisions for his next couple of fights, Paul?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, man. I think when you look at the way he's gone through the weights, I doubt he struggles to make bantamweight. But then again, as you alluded to, yes, he's 31, which is still young. But you do find that in the lower weight divisions, that maybe, bar the likes of like Nito Donaire or whatever, that when you're 31, it's not easy down in those weight divisions, as you said. I think if you're a Nue, you are looking at the featherweight division. It's only another 4 pound rise. You're looking at the featherweight division and you're thinking that you can probably mop up there. But then you do look at some of the featherweights that you've mentioned, like Luis Alberto Lopez would be a good bit bigger than him. You're fighting people who are, the more you go through the weights, kind of generally on a general scale, you're fighting people who are bigger hitters. We saw him on the floor against Luis Nery last time. Luis Alberto Lopez is a huge puncher. There's a few other big punchers at featherweight as well. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one in terms of his ceiling. You're kind of thinking, if you're going to super feather and beyond, are you starting to kind of bite off a little more than you can chew? We saw it with Lomachenko. Lomachenko's still fighting at lightweight, even though he probably isn't one. Kind of liking it to that going through the divisions. But in terms of right now, I don't think wouldn't be surprised if he was to move up to featherweight next. But I don't think he has any real issues making super bantam. He might want to, as you said, defend against Goodman and then maybe Akhmadaliev,
Mhm.
and then move up. Who knows, mate? But yeah, I don't think he struggles to make weight as such.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think he could. I think he look. I don't gonna go down a rabbit hole here, but I think that one fight that is a genuine possibility in the next 12 to 24 months would be a super fight against Bam Rodriguez, which could involve Rodriguez moving up to super bantamweight. But I also think it could involve maybe some sort of catch weight. And I think if Inoue needs to drop a couple of pounds, I think he could do that without too many problems. This is a guy who started his career at light flyweight. Let's not forget that. However, I do agree with you. I think what's most likely is he'll have one or two more fights at super bantamweight, and then there are some. It's because of the size of the fights at featherweight which are going to appeal. Luis Alberto Lopez, Nick Bull, obviously, is another one. Robson Ramirez, Espinoza, who beat Robson Ramirez. These are all just massive fights for Inoue, and those fights could possibly take him out of Japan as well. We'll have to see. We'll leave it there, Paul. But look, Inoue still a fantastic, exciting fighter. We've spoken about him a lot on this channel for one reason or another, and we will speak more about this fight as we get closer to September. Paul, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and if you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to us. Paul, take care, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers, mate. All the best.